So today we will learn very useful topic in SQL. It's called common table expressions, or short for CTE. Okay. Okay. So common table expressions. Or you can call it CTE. So what is a CTE? Basically, if you remember, you could add the result set, insert the result set into a temporary table, right?
Yeah.
And that temporary table would be stored in the temp DB. So basically, you can do the same thing with CTE. But CTEs don't take up any space. Right? Basically, CTE is you can imagine it as a virtual table. Let's say let's first collect some data from one of our tables. Let's do the homework database and select star from customer. Okay. So this is what we have in the customer table, right? And now what I can do is I can put this result into a virtual table. I can make this result referable. Like I can refer to this result, or I can treat this result as a separate table without creating a table or a temporary table. So how I do that? For that, we use the CTEs. So the syntax for creating a CTE is as follows. So I'll put creating CTE, and you say with, and then you give the CTE a name. It can be any name. In this case, I'll just call it a CTE. Okay. So with CTE as, and then this, and then I'll just close the bracket. Okay. But now this by itself doesn't create any table or anything in the database. So you can imagine this CTE as a folder. It's like it's in the air. It's basically just saving this result in the air for you. Now what I can do is I can refer to this CTE. So now imagine we have so the result of this select star from customer table is this. This is the result, right? Now imagine we have a table that's called CTE, and that has this information. Okay. Now what to do with that table? The other table, I can select anything from that table. So now I can say select customer ID, customer name from CTE. Okay. Since, as I said, like since we have this thing inside the CTE, now I can refer to the CTE as a table. This looks like as if there is a table called CTE, but in reality, there is no table, and this result set does not get stored in the database. It's a virtual table.
Yeah.
So now there's another tricky part is if I run this, it doesn't work. To execute a CTE, you have to run the whole thing.
Yeah, like a correlated software.
Exactly. Yeah. If I run this now I get a result. And then, so now the thing is, CTE, it's very useful, especially when you have some multiple step logic that you want to perform. Okay. For example, let's say I want to let's say I want to have this result. So where customer ID equals to 2005. Okay. And then now let's say I want to find the salesman for this customer. Like in this situation, of course, we could achieve the same thing with simple joins, but the idea is how you can actually use the CTEs. Okay. So now I can actually say select customer ID from CTE. Okay. Or actually, I can create another CTE. Let's say, in order to create another CTE, you just say comma, and then you continue creating your next CTE. For that, you will use again with CTE2 as, and now in the second CTE, you can actually refer to the first CTE. Okay. I can actually inside the second CTE now. Okay. And now I can say select let's say select customer name from CTE2. Looks like we have some syntax errors, but we'll find out what's happening. Near the keyword with this and that. Namespace clause or a change tracking context clause. Oh. Let's try this. I don't think this. Okay. So there's okay. Let's try this. Oh, okay. So yeah, I was having additional width there. So if you want to have multiple CTs, you just put comma, not the width part, you just create another CT, and within that CT, you can refer to the previous CT also, okay? So what I'm saying is now I have select start from customer where ID equals to this. It gives me this customer this. From this result, now I am selecting the customer ID and customer name. Okay, so customer ID and customer name. And after that, from the result of this second CT, I'm selecting the customer name.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's when I'm getting the customer name. So basically what's happening here is you can have as many CTs as you want, and you can manipulate with the result of each and refer to the result of each in the second, like oncoming next CTEs. The only thing is you have to execute them at the same time. Okay. Okay. So this is the basic for a CT.